Welcome, everybody, to the Trisbrina Show. I be the Tris.
And I'm the Brina.
And today we're talking about your life moving from this dormant phase to this beautiful dynamic phase. And we want to dive into something interesting that took place in our garden as of recent.
Not a garden like farmer's garden, just like our backyard garden.
We don't farm a whole lot. We do. She loves to pull weeds. I'll tell you what, if you lived in our neighborhood, she'd pull your weeds for you.
No.
It's like an obsession. We'll be walking down the street with the dogs, and all of a sudden Sabrina starts pulling weeds. I'm like, that's not your garden. And they might want those.
Now, to be clear, it probably is some type of obsessive thing, but I find it very
Calming.
fulfilling. What's the word I say? It's satisfying. It feels very satisfying when it's rained the day before, and then the next morning when you pull the weed like close to the ground, and you sort of like if it's nut grass, you get the nut and you get the roots, and it just pulls out, kind of like pulling an eyebrow out with the tweezers. That's very satisfying to me.
Very satisfying.
Yeah. But I don't wish to do it for anyone else or even for myself. When I see a good one, there's certain ones that just like call my name, and I like to pull them.
Yes, she does. So the neighbors, I think, are probably grateful because she does weed their yards.
Yeah, it's cathartic.
It's very cathartic. So when we were going through what we called Snowvid a few months ago here in Austin, Texas, I mean, you probably heard about it. It was all over the news. It was the coldest I think it's ever been here. Crazy amounts of snow.
At least 0 degrees for 4 days. There was ice everywhere. We were told you couldn't leave your house for like 4 days.
There was no power.
You couldn't drive. There was no power.
Yeah, it was a crazy time.
And Texas isn't prepared for it.
At all. Our grids basically browned out, and they couldn't bring them back online for a while. So during this time, not only did the garden take a beating, but so did other things. And our pool, for example, all the water inside the pool froze, and in the pumps, and things exploded on the roof. And it was quite dynamic. But what happened was a lot of our plants, and we had just moved into this home, and it was just beautiful cactuses and beautiful plants, olive trees, lemon trees. Most of it died, unfortunately.
And we had moved into this home in the late fall. So we hadn't experienced a spring, and we really didn't know what had been planted that sort of flourishes in the spring and summer. And yeah, we did lose, we had a lime tree, a lemon tree, an olive tree, and was it a fig tree?
We had a fig tree. Yeah.
And the agaves after the freeze look like blobs of jelly. Like
the agaves we had a San Pedro cactus. Oh. It was beautiful. Yeah, that just went.
It just turned to mush.
Yeah. So, you do the cleaning and removing some of the things we've left, hoping that they would come back, but it doesn't seem that they will. However, and this is the correlation to what's happening in many of our lives, or we've been going through this kind of desert experience where a lot of what we're used to seeing has gone away. We have been thrown and thrust into this dormant-like state.
Because of the pandemic.
Yeah, we've been on pause. We're in a freeze mode. And so much of life as we knew it before seemed to have disappeared. Yeah. And there's a momentum that happens with anything when there's enough repetition that becomes the new norm. Yeah. And I'll liken it to like a muscle. And when a muscle gets tight and tight and tight over a while, that's the new norm. You think that that's how your muscles feel.
And you no longer are aware that it's tight.
Well, that's it. It becomes like an amnesia. And so then you go and you see, let's say, a massage therapist, and they start saying, ooh, this is really tight. And you're like, really? Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, you're right. And then they do enough of this squeezing and resetting that your nervous system and your muscle tissues go back to normal. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize.
Actually, that's one of the reasons that people love, I think it's in the Good Morning, Good Evening Qigong program. We have this extreme tension, squeeze, 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 and then let go. Because by taking the tension more than it is, then when you let go, sometimes you can set it back to normal. But you can't really feel the tension until you take it to the extreme and take it back.
We'd like you to be open to the possibility that what we've all been going through over the past year and such is almost like a reset. Okay. And I say that with great respect for everything that's happened to families and humans who have transitioned. But if you can be open to cycles, this yin and yang, there's been a contraction.
Hmm.
And what follows contraction is expansion.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the contraction back into
Hmm.
expansion that can help a human reset. And we
Yeah.
want to help everybody go into the reset and then boom, flourish forth.
Yeah.
So,
And during the contraction, particularly with what was happening in the world, it was like, stay home, don't see your friends, don't see your family. The holidays came, go to the stores less often, order your groceries, pick them up. Don't look at anyone, cover every part of your face that would show an expression. It was
right,
it was
right.
really about almost going into a cocoon,
Which
either very isolated or with a very small group of people, and then the information that we were being fed was all from social media or from media, and these people have this opinion and these people have this other
a lot
opinion,
of
so
opinions,
a
right?
lot of confusion,
Hmm.
and also more difficult to get fresh food for us because we weren't leaving the house as often. So every single part of our life changed. When you don't go to the gym, people are losing their jobs. Everything changed. We were all asked to basically cocoon.
So all of you have been going through this just like us. And when we look at it through certain eyes, I'm sure you've already had so many insights for yourself. I think some human beings have grown from it. Some have said, this felt really nice to go into more of an hibernation, slow down, reflect, look at life, and reevaluate and reset myself. And hopefully that's been your experience. However, and this could be at an unconscious level, some of us have uh, reclused or minimized certain desires that we've had or certain momentum that we had. Things got curtailed. We felt like, whoa, the lemon trees, everything just got,
Yeah.
you know, uprooted. Now what? It
Yeah.
just seems like, what
Lost
now?
lost momentum.
Right.
Or and sometimes for me, I had a lot of habits and personality, I'll call them glitches, that I had kind of worked on, fears, being with people, going places, going to new places, and that was always something that, like some social anxiety. Well, not having to do it for a year and a half, I got to rebuild it. So the tendency is like, maybe I just won't do it. The fear has actually been fueled from not having the invitations to do those things.
And I see that some of you are saying that you've loved it. And so there's been many things about it to love, right? That personal reflection time, slowing down a little bit, spending more time with loved ones, taking care of the house, taking
Yeah.
care of the garden, right? Maybe starting a project that had been on hold for a while. So there's been a lot of birth as well.
Yeah.
We're certainly not saying that it's been bad, but we are saying that there are things that are hidden, maybe even dormant, that aren't visible to the human eye at first blush. And yet, how sweet it is when they pop or manifest. And maybe, just maybe, there's some incredible things that are about to pop for you because of this yin hibernation
Mhm.
dormant state.
Yeah.
That cycle is kicking off, and we're starting to see many signs of it. We've been invited to multiple things where we've been MCs. We've been invited to be a part of a movie. We were in
Mhm.
Sabrina interviewed Dean, who was a business partner of Tony Robbins, with this
Yep.
big thing happening where people are just really owning their future. There's a lot of momentum that we're seeing, and we're excited about
Even
it.
us, we're launching a new show.
We're launching a new show
Tomorrow.
Should we talk about that?
Yeah,
real quick?
real quick.
Okay. The new show is called Marketing, Mindset, and Moolah. And it's for the love-based business entrepreneur who wants to grow or start a business, specifically using tools like we do with social media and using a video camera and just really helping people with their Qigong, their Tai Chi, their meditation, whatever it is that you love to share. That's what we're doing.
Right. It'll be a free show. We're going to try to keep it at 20 minutes tight. Snackable strategies and tactics that you can apply right away. These are all the things that are working in our business and letting you know what we tried that wasn't working and hasn't worked. And that'll go from teaching classes to doing online webinars to camera confidence to writing copy, all the things. And we'll get feedback and we'll actually create episodes based on the need. This is something we've actually talked about doing for quite a while.
Yes.
But having a show kind of brings an audience to you. There's so I could like do an episode of it right now.
Here's the show. This is what it looks like.
Oh, and if you are interested in it, you should register to get notifications about the show and about the replays. It's satoriMethod.com/showbiz, B-I-Z. That's the only way that we'll send you the information and the replays. Oh, look at us. On either side of us. Look, that's Sabrina Tristan.
All right, so that's something exciting that's being birthed for us.
I'll put the URL
out of
on there
the
for 'em.
expansion and, of course, the contraction that we're talking about.
So what's really cool about it, if you haven't registered, jot that link down, is we're going to stream it simultaneously. Whoa, look at us. We're all fancy now.
Fancy.
Onto YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So even people who aren't on the Facebook platform or aren't able to get on at the time can still enjoy it live. And then the replays will be edited and on both. Plus a ton of other things I can't even go into right now.
So we, if you saw the title card for this show, there was a big, beautiful flower. And we want to show you that flower right now because this flower is in our garden as we speak, and it is popping. I tell you, it is just so gorgeous, and it blew my mind. And I walked out the other day, and Sabrina said, "Have you seen all the flowers?" And I was like, "No, but maybe I'll take some pictures."
The two flowers that he just showed you, they were dried up twigs in pots that I thought we should, dump the dirt, lighten the load. And Mama Rita said, "Well, who knows? Maybe." Now, you can't tell because there's nothing to relate it to, but each of those blooms, definitely bigger than a tin, like big.
Much bigger than that.
Huge blooms.
Yes, and they were not there, a week or so ago?
Yeah.
They didn't exist.
Nope.
But it wasn't just these. This little beauty popped.
This one popped up, and it was from the previous owner. So we didn't really know what to expect. It popped up right off of the back porch, and this was covered in ice. And so that's why we're so delighted, because these
leaves weren't there either. I mean, it was toast.
Yeah, there was nothing.
It was totally frozen.
It was nothing.
This beauty popped up.
Yeah, it's a huge, I think it's called a canna. And the bumblebees love it, love it, love it.
Yes,
I mean,
they do.
it almost like popped up as a green piece of grass. And I bet within a week, it was huge. It's crazy.
All of these guys.
The hibiscus.
Oh, wait. This one we actually bought, I think, because it's in a pot.
I can't remember. But pots came from Rita's, so I don't know.
Okay. And these guys?
These guys, actually, we planted those in early spring.
Okay. What about that?
This, nature's champagne glass. That was our, calla lily was our wedding flower in yellow.
But this one didn't exist, and it popped out.
It just popped up. So what's great is we didn't even know these things were planted. We certainly didn't know that anything was alive. We certainly weren't like watering specifically where they were because we didn't even know. So these things were dormant. Dormant is like asleep and resting and safe. And that's the conversation that we're kind of having, is all of the beautiful possibilities and potentials that have been safe inside of us during the lockdown periods that are just waiting to sprout and blossom more colorfully than we imagined.
And that is what it looked like before any of this bloomed. I mean, it was...
That's our swimming pool full of Slurpee.
It was everything under snow, just totally frozen. And many things did pass on, did die. But there was all of this other beauty and growth underneath
There's
it,
two go to the right.
waiting to happen. This,
Yep. And I took a picture of
these guys.
Yeah, look at that.
This pot,
Look at
that pot was out there in the garden. That came out of like nothing. So here's the thing. Yes, you can't see it sometimes. It's not visible to the human eye, but it's within us. There's so much potential. There's so much ready to blossom and bloom.
Other people may not see it and may not know it's there.
What did it require? It required a little
light,
a little warmer temperatures, energy, care from us, water, all the things that we talk about here in the energy arts, right? Receiving the light, breathing fresh energy into it, watering it with your qigong, with your meditation, with your personal caring and nurturing of yourself. There are so many things ready to bloom inside of all of us right now, especially coming out of contraction into expansion. Mm-hmm. There's really golden opportunities right now that are available to you.
Yep.
Just here's our message. Be mindful to not stay in a dormant state. Be willing to come back out and play.
Into the sun.
And some of you are saying, hey, I'm just now able to meet and gather again. The masks are slowly coming off. That's why we thought this was relevant. It's pretty open here, but we know that across the world, it's in different phases right now. But it's getting under control and the new fresh life is coming. It's coming. It's here. So get ready, embrace it, get excited about it. Envision what would you love to see happen from this time of reflection, this time of resetting your whole system.
Yeah.
Right?
And especially in regards to any of you that have thought about launching, starting, and growing a business, with what has changed because of lockdown, two things. One of the most important ones and exciting is that the entire world just learned to consume information virtually.
Right.
That means that if you have a business that would have only been face-to-face, even if it was a clothing store, clothing stores now take pictures of their merchandise and have it online.
Totally.
So your pond to fish in just got huge, and you no longer have I don't know how to go online, I don't know how to take a class online. 4-year-olds know how to take classes online because we all had to. So,
we had to.
So if you met somebody walking down the street and they said, oh yeah, I have a business, a year and a half ago, you would have said, oh, where is it? Now the answer is, oh, is it virtual or in person?
Exactly.
Like that is top of mind. People are looking to consume information in multiple ways. And for us, that means that your marketplace just opened up. Everything changed. People are looking for ways to stay healthy. It isn't just, I'm going to go to the gym in my town. And that's so exciting. And also with what just happened, and all of the data says this in polls, is people went from wanting like slick, highly produced, posed photos and perfect videos to actually desiring working with people who are just maybe, you can be in a studio or be in your home, but it isn't so highly produced. And that's great for those of us who love to keep the technology simple and the profits big. And that's really what our show is about.
Yeah.
Should write that down.
Keep the technology simple and the profits big.
Barbara.
Big.
Because the best business is the business that, of course, it helps other people, but you're thrilled to do it, and it leaves tons of time freedom. So for us, we love to be with the dogs. We love to be with each other. We love to take trips. We love to work from anywhere, and to be able to do that, to keep it easy and keep it simple. And the whole pandemic and lockdown has really just opened those doors wide for those of us who want to choose that lifestyle, because like dance fitness, I don't just have to teach in Bella Colinas anymore or the Bee Cave area. You have the whole world in your hand.
See, I love seeing things like this. Joe says, beautiful. I needed to hear this today. I think it's so true. Some of us, we're still like, what's going on, people? Like I saw this sign the other day, and this guy's holding a sign up. It was a picture, and it says this came out when this all first happened. It says, "What effing day is it?"
Yeah.
Because we were so off kilter, we were so off tilt,
Yep.
and we're just now some of us getting that worked out, right? Like, what's the new future look
Yeah.
like for us?
Because every day felt like the same day. Because
Groundhog Day.
we didn't have, our routines were gone, our schedules were gone. Those of us who already had some online connection, like those of you in the dojo, at least that helped, right? By whatever Tristan was teaching, you're like, oh, it must be Thursday.
Debbie says at our house we've been calling it the brave new world.
Oh, that's nice.
I like that. The brave new world. Yes, and that requires a brave new you, right? A brave new you saying, okay, who do I want to be today? It's a time of reinvention.
Yeah.
It's a time of, hey, what's the next chapter going to look like?
How do I want to blossom?
Yeah.
What fragrance would I like to share? What color would I like to radiate?
So good. Love it. Thank you for this, Barbara. She says, Renew Show 3M. Keep the technology simple and the profits big. That's awesome. Thanks for all the feedback that's coming through. Let's see. Exactly. A grand cleanse, and happy you are here contributing your beautiful hearts. Yes. It's what we love to do. You know, this show is an extension of the blossoming. It has shaped itself through the pandemic, really. The conversations that are happening, you know, all the just staying positive, staying connected as a community, reminding each other to breathe, to choose love over the fear. Yep. It's been a journey, and you've helped us too.
And I think one of the things that it did is, you know, society, there can be an us versus them, or the haves and the have-nots. You have so many things that split people. But when it came to the fear of catching the virus, and we were all on the same level, like no one escaped that. And I think there's a real beauty in that. It made us all really tap into our humanity.
Yeah, big time.
And it was an equalizer. And I still feel that way the few times that we've traveled and we've been in an airport. It feels different. It feels like everyone understands what's going on in a new way, with a different type of equality. Maybe that's, who knows, but it doesn't seem so much to be about racial right now to me, or political. It seems to be about bouncing back and becoming dynamic from the dormant state, getting financially our countries up and blossoming and running again and thriving.
And I really want to piggyback on what you said with people coming together. We have, so just for those of you who haven't done anything for a while, like I have a friend who's going back to his hometown in Germany on Saturday. And he said, in Germany, it's still total lockdown. And he's like, it's nothing like it is here. And I said, you're going there? He said, yeah, I'm going to go there and do some things.
And he had the vaccine.
He had the vaccine, see his family, etc. But so we realized that not everybody is experiencing what we're experiencing right now. But just the reminder, you know, the harbinger, if you will, the flowers are coming. The blossoms are waiting to happen. This will pass. There is, people are nicer. I will tell you this, we've traveled a bit because we've been able to. People are nicer. Humans have gotten kinder. They're more here for each other. We've been through a gnarly thing together. I think you're going to really love seeing how the world has evolved if you have been in a dormant state. And if you're out and about and you know what we're talking about, then, you know, contribute that into the chat, because it is a brave new world.
Yeah.
People are more evolved. They're more courageous. They're more loving. So good times ahead.
I'm feeling it with being in a new neighborhood. When we moved into this house, first of all, it was getting to be winter, and we really didn't have time to meet all the neighbors. And even when people were outside walking, everyone was wearing a mask. We even saw people wearing masks in cars, which I saw a really funny comic. A person in their car alone with the mask, and the comic had somebody walking down the street wearing a seatbelt. Like, just like a seatbelt, because it's like you're not in a car.
You're in your car with your mask on by
yourself.
Right.
Anyway,
It's become an extension, an appendage.
So now when we're out walking the dog and we see other people, it's just even now that we're like, hey, hi, hello, and engaging again and having human connection. And in those moments, I realize that I miss it.
Yeah. Humans are beautiful. They can be.
Especially when they have dogs.
When they have dogs, they're amazing. All right. Well, thank you for being a part of this conversation with us and all that you contributed into the chat, and for being brave, for being brave and getting on board with the new chapter, the new blossoms that are coming, because we are a community. Whether you're new to our work, this is your first time checking out what we're about, there's a community of sweet souls here. And together, like, we really lift each other up, you know? And so when you move forward, when you expand, when you have wins, you bring that into this community, and it inspires everybody to keep growing and keep loving. So we really appreciate what we're all doing here. We're helping each other so much.
Yep. And if you are interested in our new show,
the new show,
Marketing, Mindset, and Moolah, definitely register. We kick it off tomorrow at 1 p.m. And that'll sort of be, well, like, set the tone for how things will unfold. And it's okay. You can come even if you don't currently have a business and you're just like, I just like hearing everybody talk and being with everyone. That's absolutely fine.
We're pretty stoked about it because we see this as an extension of service. If you know the tagline to our business, then you know it is be love, take care of you, so that you can serve love, take care of others. And we're talking about marketing because it's an art of communication, communicating love. We're talking about mindset because we all know that mindset is everything. We'll dive into these things on tomorrow, Friday. Mindset has been the reason that we've been able to grow a love-based business, seriously. And then Moolah is a beautiful energy, and it's something for people to embrace the cleanliness of it. It's not a dirty word. That's why we're calling it Moolah. But it's a beautiful energy. So we'll be talking about those three things in depth. All right, sweet friends. Thank you for coming out to play. It is time to party.
Yeah?
Uh-oh. Turn it up. The night of the Roxbury.
What are you doing tonight?
I'm actually going to the internet marketing party. How about you?
Ooh, I'm dropping Mom's car off to see, got a recall.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So you're going to the dealership.
Yeah.
Nice.
Woohoo!
You have a great time at the dealership. I'm going to go to the internet marketing party.
You take one for the team, babe.
Yeah, babe. Love you guys. Till next time.